Welcome to Lifing 101, a journey through life's experiences, challenges, and interpretations. An intriguing and soul-refining podcast that explores the countless twists of life. Get ready to be amused, enlightened, entertained, empowered, and inspired. Hosted by Tina C. Christian, your MC with the LPC, and guest co-host Lorenda McKinney, your MC with the PhD.
Welcome, lovely listeners, to an exciting episode of Lifing 101 podcast,
where we dive into life's little mysteries and offer you insights to help you lead a happier, more fulfilling life.
I'm your MC with the LPC, Tina C. Christian, navigating y'all through this journey up and down and all around on this emotional roller coaster we call life.
And I'm your MC with the PhD, Lorenda McKinney. So grab your favorite beverage, find a comfortable spot, sit back and relax while we embark on this restorative journey together.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening out there. Welcome to the 2024 Toxic Free series. And honestly, we've actually pretty much completed that, right, Doc?
Yes, we're over the red flags and now we're going on to the green flags.
Yes, ma'am. So today we're going to talk about green flags in people and green flags in relationships. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's red flags and there's green flags. What are the green flags? What do we want to point out to the people today to let them know that when they're in company of good people, and it's a go, actually. You know, the green flag, green means go, red means stop. What are some of the things that we want to share with the people? Let's talk about some of the green flags in people first, and then we'll talk about some of the green flags in relationships that we have with people. What would you say are some green flags in people, Doc?
I would definitely say one of my very favorites is those people that celebrate your wins. Some of them celebrate it better than you, but it makes you feel so good.
Correct. I do have at least one friend and one family member that will celebrate my wins. And like you said, even more so than me, it's like they make you feel good about who you are.
They do.
And they encourage you to celebrate yourself even more.
Yeah, you be wanting to pay them as being a spokesperson, and they being genuine. Like it's natural for them. They're not pretending.
Right.
But they're so happy for you that it makes you even more appreciative of your own achievement. Because sometimes you tend to be a little more humble and you may be just kind of celebrating. But honey, that person brings it all out. And they gonna tell anybody that'll listen. That's one of my favorite green flags.
Yes. I would have to agree. That is awesome. And I love when people celebrate your wins as well as when we celebrate our own. But another thing that I can think of as far as green flags in people is people that remember the small things about you. That always makes you feel special.
Yes.
Because not everybody is really into you or thinks about things that, you know, little small things. But like we always say, it's the small things that matter and count. And so when people remember small things about you, it really makes you feel good.
It does.
That is a big green flag for me.
Yeah. And even though it's saying small things, it's huge.
It is.
Like somebody could bring you something that costs a bunch of money and you could be more appreciative to the person that remembers your favorite candy or something.
Correct.
Because that had more thought to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the thought that count, like they always say. And that
really is
the truth. You can go spend $1 million, but if you didn't put a thought into that gift, it doesn't mean anything to me. Because if you go and buy something for me that costs $1 million, but it means nothing to me, then what is the point?
Right.
But if you went and bought something that cost maybe $1, but it was something that I really, truly could appreciate, then yes, definitely that meant way more than something else that costs more money.
Right. And that's definitely true because you can go buy me a huge meal. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to eat it. But that person that brought me that fresh order of golden French fries, they know me. Like, they know that I love French fries. So I'm going to think, oh my God. Like, I used to have this friend that used to work with me, and he would bring me hash browns in the morning. And I thought, y'all better not touch him. He is safe. Because he knew that I like potatoes. And he would even text and be like, I got your hash browns. And I'd be like, you know I don't need those, but give it to me. So it is the people that remember the small things about you because you know that they thought about you.
Correct.
Like they took a real, they took a real thought about what you like. Yeah.
Right. So I agree. Yeah. That. And then Some other green flags that I can think about is like when people do actually respect your boundaries.
Right.
Because, we've been talking about that for several weeks.
Right.
People that don't respect your boundaries. So if you find a person that really does respect your boundaries, that is an awesome thing. And it's also a green flag to recognize that these are some good and safe people.
Yeah, for sure. Because the thing is, everybody don't have to think that that's a boundary. And some people don't, so they don't respect it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about them. It's about you. So it's those people that know that's not a big deal to me, but it is to this person. So I respect it because it's a big deal to them.
Right.
Yeah.
What's some other green flags that you can think of in people that would help our listeners know when they're in company of good people?
I would say your feel-good people. The people you feel very energized after you see them. Mm-hmm. And I call them your feel-good people because no matter what type of mood you're in, when they leave, you do feel better. And everybody's goal should be to leave their people better than they found them.
Correct.
So I think that's big to make sure you raise your people's their happiness when you're around.
Yeah. So you feel pretty much energized after you see them versus feeling drained and frustrated or just exhausted.
Look,
so,
you're ready to clean the house versus go lay under the bed.
Right.
Like there's two differences. Like I'm all hyped now, I'm ready to party.
Correct.
Versus the person is like, oh my God, I'm glad they gone now. I need some sleep.
Yeah, so definitely look for those people that make you feel energized. Another one that I can think of is, the people that actually listen without being defensive, because we all can become very defensive or get on, the defensive side when you hear someone talking, especially when it comes to critic. Here I go.
Y'all know what she's about to say. That C word. Go for it, Tina.
Constructive criticism. Y'all know I'm critical. So if you hear someone speaking constructive criticism, but it is what it is. But if you have someone that listens without being defensive when you're giving them constructive criticism, that's a green flag in people, because people, honestly, a lot of people don't want to take accountability. They don't want to hear what you have to say. Honestly, I feel like some people like it is what it is. And I agree with that 100%. However, if you can look within yourself and take self-inventory and feel like or see that there's a problem within and you can listen without being defensive, that's a good trait to have. And I feel like that's a really good green flag in people. If you can talk to them honestly without feeling like you have to walk on eggshells or, kind of tiptoe around their feelings because they're going to get defensive. So if you have people that will listen without being defensive, I really, truly believe that that's a green flag in people.
Right. And it does. Consider the source. If it's somebody that you value their input, they seem pretty stable, things are pretty positive. When they come to you, it's because they care about you. Right. That's a good source.
Yes.
So those are your green flag people.
Some others, what else can you think about?
They allow you to be your full self, regardless of how goofy you may be,
right?
How corny your jokes may be. They allow you to be that person. You don't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get around people and you want to say things and you don't.
Yeah.
Because they won't see them that way or they won't respect you for being yourself. So it really is a big deal to make sure you're in company with people that understand you.
True. And so, like you said, you can be your full self around them. You feel safe.
Yeah.
You don't have to tiptoe around their feelings or tiptoe around what you have to say. So yes, definitely. People that allow you to fully be yourself are really your green flag peoples.
Yeah.
And another I can think of is that that kind of ties in. You don't have to watch what you say.
Yeah, because I have trouble with people that you have to watch what you say.
Yeah, because I might say anything.
Yeah, and I want to be around people that I can say anything, because that's being yourself. When you start having to watch what you say, are you really being yourself? No,
really not.
And I don't want to watch what I say.
Right, because again, I may say anything.
Right.
I have a cousin, and I was telling my husband like probably last week, and we were looking at her Facebook post, and he was talking about what she said. I said, don't read too much into that, because our thing was just say anything.
Yeah.
On Facebook, and I mean, you should be able to just say whatever the hell you want to say.
And say what's on your mind.
Correct. And so I feel like if you don't have to watch what you say, if you don't feel like, oh my God, let me before I say this, let me just kind of look at this. Are they gonna be offended? Or are they gonna feel like I'm coming and attacking them? If you don't have to watch what you say, then more than likely you're in the company of people, your green flag people.
Yeah, those are your people. You don't have to say it and go, but I didn't mean it like that. They know exactly how you meant it because they know you meant no ill intent. Yeah, so that is important.
Correct. And then those people that definitely support your goals. Like we talked about the people that celebrate your wins, but the people that also support your goals.
Biggest cheerleaders.
Yes. And encourage you to achieve and accomplish and go after your goals. And, you know, those people are the people that I feel like or that you need on your team.
Yeah, because they might be your goal pushers. And what I mean by that is once you tell them,
I'm your daddy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Once you tell them, they stay on you. They stay on you because they know that goal is good for you.
Yes.
And they push you to finish it and complete it. So these are people you want around because you know how they say watch who you tell stuff to?
Yeah.
These are the people you can tell anything to and they're going to support it.
Correct. Because they're your goal pushers.
They are your goal pushers.
Well, I feel like that's a pretty good list for our green flag and people.
Right.
But as far as relationships, what are some of the things that would, you know, help our listeners recognize the green flags in relationships?
Those people that know how to say, I'm trying to get it out. Sorry.
Are you one of
those people that know how to apologize?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Apologies are hard.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, because it depends on how. Okay, for one, you got to know exactly what you're apologizing for.
Correct. That's the big one for me.
Because
don't just
that
say I'm sorry.
that's what I was going to say.
Sorry for?
Yeah, that generalized apology.
Don't mean shit.
But you got to know exactly what you're apologizing for. For one, so you won't do it again. For two, because the apology has more meaning. If I know exactly what you're apologizing for, trust me, if you apologize and you're not normally an apologizing or apologetic person, that person will value that apology because they know you don't say you're sorry if you're really not.
Correct.
So definitely a green flag in relationships will be that person that apologizes. They know they're wrong. They apologize. And sometimes it's better to just clear it up than take that side of saying, but I'm right.
Right.
So sometimes you just apologize because it offended that person.
Right.
It's not like you meant it that way, but if they took it that way, the apology is valid.
And it's genuine. Correct. Another thing that I can think of for green flags in relationships would be people that actively listen to you talk. And when I say actively listen, you know, we've talked about it before where people listen to respond.
Yeah, they can't wait.
Yeah, they don't even really hear what you say because they're so busy like, oh, I can't wait to say this or I'm going to respond to that. Or they've internalized what you've said, so they're waiting for their opportunity to respond. But the people that actively listen to you talk, those are green flags in people not always cutting you off or waiting to respond or being on the offense or defense. The people that really truly listen, actively listen, those are green flags in relationships. So whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or even a coworker, those type of relationships that where people listen, those are really good for you.
Yeah, because they value what you say and it also matters to them how you feel.
Yes, correct. What's some other things you can think of?
I would say they never diminish or make light of your feelings. So just because they feel like in their mind, they may say, that's not really a big deal. But the point that it's a big deal to you or it hurts your feelings or something about it bother you, it's important enough for them to acknowledge it.
Right. And that is so important, people, because people will minimize other people's issues and problems and things. And we're all guilty of it. But I challenge you to pay attention and be mindful, even though it may not seem like a big issue to you. Don't diminish, other people's feelings, because I feel like everybody's feelings are valid. You feel that way for a reason, and your perception is your reality. So if you feel that way, it's real to you.
Yeah.
Even though I may not be able to understand it or other people may not, it is real. It is your feelings. And it is valid. So, again, I think that's very important when you have people in your life in relationships that don't diminish or make light of your feelings. That's very good. And that's a very big green flag for me.
It is, because don't try to make a person feel foolish because it's something that doesn't bother you. It's about them. It's not about you.
Correct. It's not about you, boo.
Yeah.
Other things. What can we think of? Other things that may, give green flags in relationships.
They take responsibility for their actions.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they know that they may have did something that was offensive to you, and they take responsibility for it, because too many times people will not take responsibility for what they do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Downplay shit or not accountable or avoid dealing with it. I can't stand that. So yes, I agree. Taking responsibility for their actions is a big green flag for me.
Yeah, or people are deflect. Well, I did it because you did. No, sir or ma'am. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you did to me personally.
Honestly, truth be told, let me tell you, I have way more respect for somebody that may have wronged me and is able to take accountability and be responsible for their actions versus someone that didn't take accountability. And it may be something big over here and something small over there, but even if it was something big, but you were very accountable, I can appreciate that way more than somebody not, or something smaller, because that means a lot to me, because that tells me that you have remorse about what you did.
You care.
And you care. And you may not have had intent to do those things. However, it came across. Even if you did have intent, if you can be accountable and responsible for your actions, I can respect that. Yeah.
Right, because you want to fix it.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Another thing that I can think of is that for green flags in people, I can think of like, they're always asking you how you feel.
Yeah,
of course
care.
I say that. I'm a therapist. How are you feeling?
Right.
But no, for real, I've told people before, friends and family and or clients. That's it. Clients. I've told clients before as well, we never really think about how we feel.
Right.
And when somebody asks you how you feel, you really have to stop and think. Even when somebody asks me, and I'm a therapist and I've asked it 1,000 times, how are you feeling?
Right.
But when somebody asks you and you really truly have to think about a feeling, it really takes some time to really think. So if someone asks me how I feel, that lets me know that they really truly care. And they're thinking, because not like just how you doing or what you doing, but how do you feel?
Yeah.
That's deep. People don't realize that, because if you think about it right now, if I ask everyone that's listening, how are you feeling? And I'm looking for a feeling, because that's what I would always say to my clients. I'm looking for a feeling like happy, glad, mad, sad, whatever. Not like I'm good. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm fine. We talked about that before when people always say, I'm good. I'm okay. Yeah. But no, an actual feeling. You really, truly have to stop and think about how you feel.
Right.
If someone's asking me how I feel, that's deep to me. Yeah. And that's a green flag for me in a relationship, that you actually care about me and how I feel. Right. Not just, some surface BS like, how you doing, girl? No, you really, truly want to know how I feel. So if you really care about people and you ask them how you feel, that's a green flag.
It is. And then you genuinely are waiting for a response, because a lot of stuff is asked in passing, but you never know that person that needed you to ask that, because they were waiting for someone to ask that so that they could tell them how they feel.
Exactly. Everybody needs an outlet.
Yeah.
So they may have been holding that crap in for a while, and nobody, it could have been months or years, asked how they were feeling, and then here you come and go, how do you feel?
Right. And then, like you said, you may literally ask me that and I hadn't give it a second thought, but when you asked me,
you gotta think.
I really thought, I do have something that I'm just a little concerned or have a feeling about.
Yes, exactly. So you'd be surprised the response that you will have when somebody really genuinely cares and asks you about how you feel. You really will. Yeah. What's some other things that you can think of?
Green flags in a relationship, I would say those that look for solutions and don't blame others. So they're bringing the problem, but they're ready to fix it. They don't want to talk about the problem 45 times. They brought it up, and now let's come up with a solution for it. Those are your green flag people, because they don't want to hang on to the problem.
Yeah, they don't.
They're ready to move forward. Yeah, they want to present it, and they want to say, okay, how do we move forward? And they're not finger pointing. It's just, how do we fix it and get past it?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because I don't do victimhood. I don't do pity party. So they come with some solutions. And they don't want to blame others.
We don't want to deal with that forever. Okay, this was messed up that this happened, but what are we going to do to make sure it doesn't happen again?
Right. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that, but that is a great one.
Yeah.
But another one that I can think of is that they make you feel like you want to talk to them.
Yeah.
You have that level of comfort and security, and and you feel safe. You know, like you can share. Those are your green flag people. So if you feel uptight and anxious and tense, or you don't feel like it's safe and you want to share, then probably not. But if you know you can call somebody and just, unload all of these things, and you don't have to really be cautious about what you're sharing. They make you feel like you really, truly want to share and talk with. That's a green flag for me.
Yeah, and you're anxious. You're like, oh my God, it's Tuesday. I'm about to talk Tina's ear off. Wait till I get to her house. You walk in the door like, girl.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, and then 3 hours later, we ain't did not a pot or so yet, because we felt this was a person that I liked to talk to. I wanted to talk to her.
So we had some to say.
We had some ish to talk about. We was ready to tell our story.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that is very true. You have to feel that level of comfort, and you want to talk to them. That is a green flag all day. If you don't feel like you have to hold anything back and you're anxious or looking forward to talking to someone, that's a green flag.
And that's so... That probably is one of the biggest ones on here, because that's a person that you want to talk to.
Correct.
Like, all the things that happen and you like, oh, I know who I can share this with. That's a big deal.
It is.
That's a big deal.
Because we don't really have a lot of those people.
You don't.
I have a couple of friends and people in my circle, thank God, that I'm like, okay, I feel safe.
Right.
I want to talk and share. Other than that, it's like my therapist, It's
right.
like, oh, hell, I can't wait to dump on her.
Yeah, and it's some people that don't even have one.
They don't. But I'm very fortunate to have a circle of friends, a small circle, but a circle of friends that I feel like I want to talk to them. So if you feel like you want to talk to them, that's a green flag.
Yeah, that person is worth $1 million.
Definitely. And last but not least, one that I can think of is that, you can, or they have hard conversations without losing their temper. So, we all have some challenges when it comes to certain things. We're not going to see eye to eye.
Right.
There may be some differences and disagreements, but if you have people that can have those hard conversations with you without losing their temper, that's definitely a green flag, because we all have our differences, and we're going to disagree, and we're going to hopefully agree to disagree.
Right.
But if you have mature people and green flag people in your life, you can have those hard conversations without them losing their temper, or even you losing yours. So when you're having these difficult conversations, if you notice that people are losing their temper, they're probably not your green flag, but your red flag people. Yeah. But if you have someone that's open and open-minded and is able to hear you out, and even though it's difficult for them, they're still not losing their temper, those are green flag people.
Yeah, I always say you have to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. Correct. Because if you try to avoid them, you're not dealing with the real life, because you're skipping over the things that are going to cause conflict and confrontation. So you're not living in the real time, because you can't. How long can you go and not mention what's really bothering you before you eventually explode, because you're not getting what you need, because you're not being honest. Right. So you have to be comfortable, and that person should be comfortable having that conversation with you, and vice versa.
That is correct. I truly agree. And like I said, pay attention to the green flags as well as the red flags. We've harped on the red flags and the toxic traits and toxic behaviors, but now we're wanting to move forward and give you some information and resources in regarding to looking at people in regarding to the green flags. Right. Because those are the people you should be searching for.
These are your safe spaces. So we want you to know what's safe and what feels good and what we really should consider a blessing to us.
Right. And so I feel like we've kind of covered this green flags. I hope you guys got it. We've talked about red flags. These are our green flags. And so before we kind of bring this to a close and wrap it up, Doc, don't you have some gems you want to share with them?
And I do. And according to the calendar, because we'll just go with that, this will be our last pot of soul for Black History Month according to the calendar. But we know Black History is every month, and it's a lifetime commitment. Okay. So we will go along with the calendar for the sake of this, and I have a gem to share with you, and it's an oldie but a goldie, not a goodie. It's a goldie, because we've all heard this a ton of times, but I want you to take it in, and I want you to remember it when you're interacting with people, because it's a big deal.
Right.
I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And we know that's from one of my favorites, Maya Angelou.
Yes, ma'am. I love that one.
Yes, it's so true.
I was about to say, it can't be more true than that, because even you and I, like, okay, so you may have said something, I may forget that when you leave here, but how I truly feel about this interaction, I'm never going to forget that.
Exactly. And just like people will say, they remember songs and it makes them feel special because something was attached to that. So they'll never forget how that made them feel.
Feelings are very, very important, people. So I think we've kind of covered this. So until next time, people, stay hopeful
and stay curious.
Before we part ways, we invite you to share your own stories, thoughts, and reflections with us. Connect with us on social media, reach out through our website, or simply leave a comment on your preferred podcast platform. Feel free to leave us in voicemail at 816-607-1243 with any thoughts, concerns, or questions that you'd like shared on Lifing 101 or just answered or addressed. If you prefer to send us an email, feel free to do so by sending it to our website, lifing101pod.com, or send us an email to info@lifing101pod.com. Your insights and experiences enrich our shared understanding of this incredible journey we're all a part of. Please subscribe to this podcast and follow our website, lifing101pod.com, and find and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Stay hopeful, stay curious, and keep embracing the vibrant, unpredictable, and awe-inspiring journey that we call life. Goodbye for now, and may your days be filled with endless wonder.